Hello friend and welcome back once again to Ultimate Admiral, Age of Sail. Let's continue where we left off previously. I've done a little bit of research and let's get started. So first of all, this trophy, this 6th rate sloop of war. Let's see if we can buy something better, and the question is we can't. So the Mercedes would currently be our best unit. What that means is I want to add it to my fleet and it will need some repairs. That cost quite a bit of reputation, but I do think that under the circumstances that's probably the best. Since unfortunately Horatio can only be on the HMS Fairest, I cannot make this my flagship. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to do that. Anyway, that does mean I'll be looking for a good officer, and it seems like Nicholas Nappinger is going to be the best one. There's not enough of these weapons. Let's go for the I want to go for, I guess, let's go for the Sea Service Musket and Bayonet. That's pretty expensive, but probably worth it. Let's assign the officer as well here and take a look. Let's go for Sultan Kiss here. There we go. So another Mercedes is pretty decent. And we have Horatio Nelson here. We have to also assign somebody. There are not that many great options left, but well, this guy is undoubtedly better than him, interestingly enough. He is more expensive. It's definitely worth a lot more checking the stats than anything else. My problem is that he's not very good at boarding. So it's either good boarding or good cannons, and in this case yeah, this willpower does not matter one juicy bit over here. It's only 2 better and 30 on the other side. Yeah, I will have to assign him. I know that boarding at that point is not particularly great. But maybe I can change that by also giving them the oh, this is, I have a lot of them in the armory. So that would be okay. That would at least allow them to do a bit better melee. One of the most interesting things or important things to look at here is what the next mission entails. So if you were to, for example, already go to play here, which is, that kind of stuff is pretty interesting. So you can then already see we can only do 2 ships. So it would be useless for me to, at this point, already work on the 3rd one. So that 3rd ship, oh, okay, this is weird that this is now up front. But to get an officer into the HMS Alert at this point would be quite useless. Now, I can actually upgrade you, and I think unmounting will require additional funds, huh? Let's go for a hardened hull, whereas for you I want early copper sheeting and also a hardened hull, I think. There we go. So that basically upgrades my 2 ships to the maximum, or at least as much as possible. That's yeah, because the ships I can buy are pretty much garbage at this point. I could try to buy better guns, but they are also heavier. I'll just wait on that for a second. And I'll start with some research. So I will not be doing land combat on this mission, so I'm not going to research either of these. What I do want, though, is boarding equipment, which allows me to do more damage and take less damage in boarding, which is probably going to be one of my primary sources of income. So I do want to invest some points in that, and that'll be quite important. Made stitch sails significantly cheaper and more accessible. Silk pricked sails, more sail and mast HP. Probably also very useful to take, so I'll be going for that as well at the moment. That should just upgrade your ships, I think, in general, unless it's an upgrade. But I don't actually think so. It is. Oh, okay. Well, I did not know that. I guess I do know it now. Just like I forgot to invest into career points. That makes it... It's a shame that I already did the research because you can make it cheaper. Which I thus should have done. Let's just start with the casualties, because I think saving your crew and keeping them experienced is probably going to be very good. Yeah, I think probably getting an expert crew is going to be very important. This just deals with money. I would also like to get more reputation. That's probably also going to be very important. So let's just stick it like that for now. Assortment in Admiralty. Not too sure what Admiralty's assortment means. Well, we'll see. Either way, what I can do, though, is I can increase these troops for a bit with the remainder of the money. Let's just get both of them to 150 for the moment. And let's see if there is somebody who... Yeah, this already is quite an increase for you guys. Start. Their optimal crew is less, interestingly enough. But let's go to max. I don't really see why you would necessarily... Well, actually, going for more crew members should make boarding a little bit easier. I know I'll go down apparently in stamina, sailing, and efficiency, etc. But still, and let's also jam the Mercedes to the max here. More crew. Okay. So I guess that's it. We also don't have any more money. So I wonder if these captives, if I can actually do something with them. Alright, so we have a couple of things here. I got an award. Medal of Victory is awarded to those serving in His Majesty's Armed Forces who have distinguished themselves in time of war under fire by the enemies of the Crown. Then... This is from the last battle, but I'll still read it. We've been informed that His Majesty's ship Richmond, a 32-gun frigate, saw action against the Spanish small frigates Galga and Mercedes on the 20th of February while escorting several troop transports on their way to reinforce the West Indies theater. Spaniards approached HMS Richmond before dawn by hiding in the morning mist and were not detected until they had closed 600 yards and discharged a broadside. The Admiral Captain Azariah Hayes of HMS Richmond received head wounds and was rendered unconscious. First Lieutenant Jenkins was swept overboard, leaving the crew in disarray. Young Lieutenant Horatio Nelson realized the severity of the situation and took command, returning fire almost immediately. By his orders, HMS Richmond took up position and resumed effective fire. In the following action, the Spanish ships were defeated and our forces secured access to the mouth of the San Juan River, allowing His Majesty's forces to mount amphibious operations inland at their earliest opportunity, the army defeating the remaining Spanish garrison and securing the San Juan River to provide passage for our main forces. And the mission that we can do is Dinner for Admiral. Saturday the 11th, of March, 1780. The Spanish have taken advantage of our overstretched forces and have captured a crucial supply ship, the HMS Walpole. Fortunately, the enemy were not expecting such a swift response, and the vessel is only escorted by a pair of ships. Okay, you can only do next stage if there's not an unfinished battle. Alright. Alright, let's go then. I profess myself a citizen of the world, sure. Alright, could I actually deploy? No. Without a captain, you can't deploy. Not that I wanted it to, but, okay. It's interesting because it shows only naval, and there's kind of like no land engagement here necessarily. It seems like if I were to be able to deploy a third ship, I guess I would, but Captain, we've arrived in a designated area without any trouble. Okay. A Spanish squadron has been sighted. It's our merchantman, the Walpole, under a Spanish flag along with a small escort. They're attempting to reach the cover of the guns at the nearby outpost. We're moving to intercept them under full sail. The enemy is screening the merchantman to allow it to escape. We must take her back. And generally, I always just pause at the start. So we have the Walpole here at the back. We'll probably be able to take down the San Juan Bautista and the Santa Rita. Relatively soon. I mean, wind is going that way, so I would at least like to try and move in that direction. And we'll see how these guys are going to perform. Yeah, let's go. And then we can always target the Walpole later. They do have significantly less men than I do. I'm surprised they actually go this fast against the wind, because the wind is definitely going that way. So they must be slowing down at this point. I would not be surprised if they're going to try and turn around. Well, I'll keep going full sail. The I actually want to try and board to them, but we'll see whether that will work. I'll have to turn a little bit as well, but I would probably see them turn too. This thing is a whole lot slower. Yeah, they're not doing so well going in against the wind. We're not going super fast either, but the wind is actually going that way now. Which also makes it a bit troublesome here. Let's just try to focus on the San Juan Bautista at any rate. And you can make it through the center here. It's actually a bit interesting. But because these two ships are so much smaller, I should be able to try and get in some hooks on them. Let's see how that goes. I mean, we're too far away. But I would wager that actually you can get in some hooks on them if you probably just removed all your sails. There. Does it work? No. Now it does. Okay. If I get at them from both sides, yeah, you're gonna get hit now. And not just a little bit, but I should be able to hold them here. both of them should switch to these kind of cannons as well. I wonder actually how this now works. It has surrendered. Okay, great. So I think, can I then let's pause, because if they've surrendered, before there was a way to get some troops in there. But I'm not sure. So yeah, I guess they're gonna get closer now. I want you to go full sail and probably just turn around like this. So they'll be able to board soon, I think. We'll let them deal with the Walpole as well later. I cannot imagine the Walpole going to get into too much trouble. They're quite close now. But these guys, they actually cannot move. I actually don't want you to fire at the Walpole. Now, the way this worked is, I actually thought, or do I have to send out his ship? I wonder if they can actually do that. Yes, they can. Okay, great. Okay, that worked. Let's get you out of here. And yeah, you should also release that. And I'm gonna send these guys over to the Walpole. I don't want them to attack, but they're probably gonna surrender quite soon. And I'll have them turn and target to attack them. Let's switch to regular cannons and switch it up. So for you, you're at full sail. That's good. And I want you also to focus on them. Let's just do that by AI. And let's turn. Actually, let's take off all those sails. Hopefully they'll stop fast enough here. Does seem to be the case. And I'm not sure whether I need to take them out, but they need to turn a whole lot faster than this currently. I don't want them to take any damage out of nowhere. Okay, I think they've turned enough. And they are gonna try and go after them. They have only 8 units now. Oh, okay. Didn't I tell you not to fire the cannons? That's really weird. at any rate, I might even be able to board the Santa Rita. It seems like they have a coastal battery there. There's no way I'm gonna try and go after the coastal battery. I mean, there's no reason to do this, so... What, I would not be actually getting anything from that. Stop firing. We do have some hooks. Because, sweet. Okay, so I have that. Besides that, as far as I was concerned... I don't need to take that coastal battery. I mean, that wasn't in the description. What was the mission report? Actually, let's pause here. So I need to capture the Walpole, capture Santa Rita, or destroy the Santa Rita. Okay. Well, I'm capturing it right now. They don't have that many crew members left. Okay, Santa Rita has surrendered. Sweet. Let's make sure that some of these guys actually do go in there. Fine. Cut them loose. And we can finish the mission. So, as for losses, we lost 35 men. And that's it. We got this. Sweet. Alright, that went very well. I'm quite happy with that outcome. I wonder, you might actually be able to take some of the guns and stuff, but why would you, I guess? Interestingly enough, I just needed repair. Okay, so the Santa Rita and the San Juan Bautista, I can probably just send them to the Admiralty because I don't think they're going to be that great. At any rate, the enemy commander has contacted me and is offering to pay a ransom for the safe return of his captured men. Inform the commander that his offer has been accepted, and that 221 prisoners will be returned to 556. I guess that would be cash. Release the prisoners on parole. It will improve your reputation by 1. Or reject the commander's proposal and continue holding these prisoners. That's sure. Let's do it for reputation. Why not? And I don't think there are any more missions. We got this stuff. Dinner for Admiral. Fruit, fresh bread, sweet fruits, rum. I'll write about this day later. I'm headed to a lavish dinner. Yes, indeed. So we got a career point. Let's spend that in technology research costs, so that's a bit cheaper then. That's good. I cannot do any of those for now. If we look at this, there are no better ships at the moment waiting for me. I guess in the harbor. But I'm not quite sure... Oh, this is just mine. My harbor. These are my units. Whoops. Alright. Anyway, let's send these to the Admiralty. For now. There we go. I'm sure they'll be pleased by that, and it does give me a little bit more reputation. I'm not sure whether going to the next stage will immediately not allow me to do this anymore. So I'll probably be fine, actually. So actually, maybe getting more cash rewards is not even such a bad idea, because we do seem to be short on money for the moment. And then the more money you have, the better you can spend it instead of only research. Anyway, so now we're on the next stage. It's now 1780 in April. And we now have 3 missions. A priority mission. A snakes and powder. It will give us a lot of cash. And this voices. I think these might be... This seems to be a side mission. And this is then like a main battle here. Anyway, let's read these things. Priority. That's 1. We have snakes and powder here. Voices. And then son of a gun. This morning the surgeon informed me that a woman on board, where did they hide her, has been laboring in childbirth for 12 hours. If I ordered a broadside to be fired leeward, nature would be assisted by the shock. I complied with the request and she gave birth to a fine healthy boy. Also, I've asked Jeremy Knox, my boatswain, to ensure that Admiralty restrictions against women at sea be observed henceforth. Okay. Okay, let's just read this. I heard you collect rumors, Captain. I have a story for you. While watering our auxiliary vessel on the Pearl River, my midshipman reported hearing distant voices heard behind some rocks. The ship's surgeon believes it to be a case of heat exhaustion, but it was a cloudy day. We've all heard the rumors about native tribes hiding gold and gems in the local cave system. I would go myself, however, I lack the necessary research to do so and trust you with the location. I'm still skeptical, but it's your decision. Recorded on Virgo, San Juan Harbor, and then this time. What does that do? So this gives you a certain success rate if I send a certain unit. Sending the Mercedes gives you 71. This is 70. What if I send 2 ships? That makes it a lot higher. But then the question is, will I actually make it? I guess this duration 1 means it lasts for 1 mission. So ideally, I'll want to send these guys while I do the snakes and powder mission. Because then I will have the ships available for the priority mission as well. I'm still curious. One of the interesting things is that you can spend money to confuse the enemy. Like here, for example, it makes the mission weaker, I think, or easier. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if I did have it on follow the orders myself. I think I did. I got a little bit of funding, interestingly enough, but a lot of money was spent on the fleet and the crew. These are certainly new, but they're still only 7th rate. So that's still not super useful to buy at this point. I guess, though, I can level him up with either morale, additional morale, or additional stamina. So, morale. Affects tenacity and charge, melee, holding position, and stamina. Affects movement, weapon handling, melee, and rowboat speed. Let's go for stamina. And they're both just upgraded like that. Well, the Mercedes, I guess it's about the crew. It seems like some of the crew that I sent on these other ships is kind of is lost. So where I had max before, it is now less, and I will have to kind of like rebuy those units. Also, yeah, okay. Well, that's also. I'll go for stamina for you. But that is actually pretty interesting. What I can do though is I'll probably upgrade this start with a lightweight hull, because with the lightweight hull, this is actually not too bad indeed. With the lightweight hull, I have more capacity for them, and then I can put more units basically in there. I probably don't have any better weapons for them. Land powder musket. Giving them also... No, they're only 28, so that definitely does not work. In fact, what do you have? They both have land powder musket. Well, I do have plenty, I guess, for the moment. Let's get you to 200. And you as well. Well, what I do find weird is that I cannot actually get more. I will have to figure it out. Maybe if I dismiss them, I will have them in reserve. I can then, or I can actually change them up already. How did I get to that screen just now? Okay, it's like unit type to create. I need to research artillery first. Well, what is this? This is mortars as well and artillery, huh? I can only do that later on in intermediate, but I need 4 more research, I think, even to get there. Not that I have too much money here. Right, what I'm gonna do though is I'm just gonna assign you guys. I guess just for now get them to 200. I mean, why not? I have 400 troops then. And I'll leave it at that for a little bit. These guys are very high weight now as well. I would have to buy more guns or better guns at the very least as well, and I might actually, let's see. Oh no, I would have to. The interesting thing is technically I could hold 2 more guns, but they're in the shop. So say that I buy 2. Can I then load them? No, I just... They just cannot add any more cannons. Despite... I wonder where you can see how much cannons they can actually add, because you would think that I could... potentially add more. But then that does not seem to be the case. Funny that selling them now is just not a good deal. Oh well. That's fine. It's only 2 cannon. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up here, and I'll probably just try to deal with these on the next episode. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this one. I'm just still a little bit figuring out how things work, but I'm sure I'll be an expert at this stuff within no time. Anyway, special shout out to all my Patreon supporters: Boom Rao, Dungeon Bastard, Thomas Train, Thomas B. Marshall, C Data, and Swords. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care and bye bye.